YouTube. What's up, baby? Back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I'm Callie, and today we're going to be talking about Wednesday, Season 1, Episode 5, entitled You Reap What You Whoa. Anyways, man, so if you've been to this channel before, you already know how we do it. It started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? Again, so we got Wednesday, Season 1, Episode 5, entitled You Reap What You Woe. Alright, so for this episode, we start off with seeing Wednesday opening up the portfolio that she received from Tyler, and it was the basically the information that they had on this murder case that they had Gomez involved with, right? So she opens it up. She starts talking about, well, there's a lot of mysteries going on in my life, and this is one of them that I want to solve. So she opens up the portfolio. Then all of a sudden we're transferred back to the 1990s, where in which that's when Gomez and Morticia was attending Nevermore, right? And we see a young Miss Weems kind of walking, I guess, like just walking. It's she's still on the school grounds, so she's walking. All of a sudden, she looks up and she sees this body fall down from this building, hits the ground, and whoever it was is dead. You know what I'm saying? And so she starts screaming, and then from there, we end up seeing that it goes back to the present day, right? And it just so happens that it's parents' night or parents' week, however you want to say it, because I think the Adams family stays there for about a week. So, anyways, or the weekend or whatever. But so it's parents' night. So everybody's parents are coming. We get to see Ned's parents. We get to see Eugene's parents. We get to see the whole Adams family, except for Uncle Fester. We get to see Bianca's mom. So just we're seeing certain things. That's pretty cool. As far as seeing their parents. So anyways, and let me also add this. When they do that flashback, when we first see it, we see also that once that body falls and hits the ground, we see that it was Gomez fighting somebody, another student, and it was probably for Morticia's love, right? And we're thinking that Gomez kills this student, and that's the body that Miss Weems saw hit the ground when she was walking in the 1990s. And then we see that he gets arrested, and then Morticia sees him off, gives him a kiss. And that's so. Now let's go back to what I was saying. Like I said, it's parents' night. We're back in the present day. It's parents' night. And then we see that the Addams family goes to see Miss Weems, and Miss Weems wants to talk to her parents, catch her up on certain things that's taking place with her. Because Miss Weems is supposed to be trying to make sure that Wednesday didn't escape, Wednesday didn't do this, Wednesday didn't do that. And obviously she's been everywhere doing what she wanted to do. Not on a bad type of thing deal. Just really just her being Wednesday, following her intuitions, trying to make the school clean, Um, so she catches them up, Gomez and Morticia, up with the things that Wednesday has been doing, and then Wednesday steps up and is like, "Look, like I'm not doing anything bad. I'm over here trying to figure out why Eugene got clawed up. Lucky he's alive and steady in the ER or whatever, like in the emergency room, whatever, or in the hospital. But still, he got clawed up by this beast. Ain't nobody trying to find out no answers like I am. You got this town being um, uh, glorifying uh, the crackpot guy, whatever. I forgot his first name, but you know what I'm talking about if you've been watching the show. But you got this town being glorifying this crackpot dude, and basically making this whole town like a dedication to him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the forefather of this town. It's like she's like, dude, like you are trying to say that I'm doing bad stuff, but I'm actually out here doing good stuff. And I'm actually out here doing your job. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. Because in all reality, the adults should be the ones trying to figure out who this beast is. The adults should be trying to figure out, just all this stuff, like the history and making things right. And they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So Wednesday is. So yeah. So she basically backs herself up. And like I said, another thing we find out is that Eugene's alive, which is great. I didn't want him to die, man. I thought it was stupid that he went out there in the last episode by himself to go investigate the beast's lair, but you know, I didn't think he deserved to die, and I was like, yo, did he really die? But even in the last video, I was like, I don't know if he's dead. He may not be dead. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't just like blatantly flat out said he was died. He just got attacked, and you know what I'm saying. He wasn't like it didn't look like he was breathing. You know what I'm saying? But he could have been in shock type stuff. But anyways, so after Miss Weems talks to Morticia and Gomez. Um, we also find out that Miss Weems wants Gomez and Morticia to accompany Wednesday when she goes to see Miss Thornhill. I think her name was like the maybe no, not Miss Thornhill. Um, Whatever her shrink, the shrink. I forgot the name. But I'll get it next time. But yeah, Miss Weems wants Gomez and Morticia to accompany Wednesday to her shrink meeting, and so that they pretty much have no choice to do it. So and then from there we see Tyler's father, like at the coffee shop or whatever, and he's talking to Tyler for a second, and then all of a sudden out of the blue he looks over to his left and he notices that Mr. Gomez or Mr. Adams Gomez is in town, and of course we already found out that the sheriff has been trying to find Gomez because the whole town is under impression that he had killed this one student. So he obviously he had told Wednesday about that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? The sheriff Tyler's father had told Wednesday about the stuff like I'm gonna keep my eye on you and stuff like that. So now you got the dude that actually committed the crime. You know what I'm saying? You gonna jump at the opportunity to take him in. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, um, so then Tyler's dad gets a call and he's like, "Oh, well, you guys got the results back for like the DNA that Wednesday had to gave him to have tested." And I guess it wasn't even like the DNA people, like it was just another officer letting them know that the coroner that we saw in the last episode ended up getting killed. He ended up killing himself. So he goes to investigate that. He goes to the scene to investigate that. Um, then we see Wednesday, Gomez, Morticia and Pugsley at Wednesday's, little shrink meeting. And then while there, Wednesday confronts Gomez, her father, about the death of a student named Garrett Gates. This is the dude that we saw die in a like in a flashback. So Morticia like shuts her down, like, hey, like, no, we're not talking about this. We're leaving. So they all end up leaving, and then Morticia like talks to Wednesday. Is like, how could you throw your dad under the bus like that? Da 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 da. You don't even know what happened, and just whatever. And Wednesday's like, exactly. Why don't you let me know what happened, like, or else I'm gonna find out, type stuff. And Morticia's like, look, you're just meddling in stuff that you have no business in meddling in. You don't know what happened. Like, stay out of it. We're done with the situation. And then Wednesday's like, you know what? If you're not gonna tell me what the real is, I'm gonna find it on my own. You know what I'm saying? So that's just regardless. Um. So then we see Bianca. Yeah. So then we see Bianca talking to Xavier, and it's that Xavier's parents aren't there, and then Bianca's parents aren't there as well. And then Bianca's like, look, like you trying to do the small talk with me, like you needn't even apologize to me about what happened at the dance. So he's like, yeah, I should get to that, whatever. So he like apologized to her. They both talking for a second. All of a sudden, bro, Bianca's mom shows up out of the blue. So we get to see Bianca's mom. Um, we end up finding out that Bianca's mom is getting married to a guy named Gideon, and Bianca doesn't seem to like this guy. We also found out that Bianca changed her name to Bianca from a different name, trying to escape things that she has either done or been through in the past. Um, there was this talk about like, your past may catch up to you. So like you think you're this new person, but you're not. Like you can never change your scales. And the reason why her mom said you can never change your scales instead of your skin is because um, they're sirens, right? Um, and basically her mother wants her to come back to wherever they live, you know, and be there because there's a situation where there's a low number of sirens alive, and I think the reason because of that, I think the reason that is because of Bianca had something to do with it. So I don't know if she like killed some of the people or whatever, right? But Bianca has something to do with it. So yeah, we there's gonna be a lot of stuff that we find out about Bianca, obviously, and even other characters. But still, like just it's crazy. You thought you knew Bianca, you don't. It's not even her real name. So from there we go to Wednesday, and she goes to visit Eugene at the hospital. Wednesday ends up meeting Eugene's parents, um, and then the sheriff goes to investigate the coroner's death scene, or his death. So he gets to the murder scene, but there's no leads except for there's black gum on the camera, and we all know that from like a previous episode. Wednesday has snuck into the coroner's office or the coroner's like morgue room and put that black gum on the camera. So, you know, if he ends up investigating into that black gum, he may think that, Wednesday had committed or Wednesday had something to do with the coroner's murder, even though it's been written off as a suicide because there's a suicide note, and in the note it says something about the death of Garrett Gates, and it gives him the leeway that he needs, in order to go arrest Gomez. So that the sheriff leaves, he's headed to Gomez to arrest him at this point. Um, and then like we see Morticia at a grave site, and she's leaving flowers, and it's for Garrett. And then from there, we see Enid talks to her parents. Um, we see like her dad doesn't really talk; it's more so her mom talking, and her mom is trying to make sure that she's going to be falling in line with what they have in plan for her life to be like. And we can see that it bothers Enid because she kind of has a different idea in life that she wants to take and partake in. And then we then see the sheriff go to arrest Gomez. He does arrest Gomez. Um, and then Wednesday goes to visit Gomez in jail. And then he basically explains to her what happened for the Garrett situation. So we see that Garrett was actually obsessed with Morticia. And then he wouldn't leave her alone, all the stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, like, I guess he must have got jealous of her and Gomez. And then he attacked Gomez. Gomez and him fought with swords. And by the end of the fight, Gomez ended up having to kill the guy, Garrett. And then that's how it happened. So I don't know why he was always under suspicion, like as if like he murdered the dude when it was more so like it was more so self-defense. But anyways, Wednesday believes her dad about the situation, right? So then Wednesday goes to the sheriff to try to clear Gomez's name. Sheriff doesn't agree with her logic, and he knows about her black gum that she chews that was found on that camera in the coroner's morgue office. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, maybe I should investigate that and I'll figure out da-da-da-da. She's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get you the real info that you need to do this stuff, and you over here, you know what I'm saying, tripping on me like that. But so she goes her own way after she can't convince him about whatever. We then see Wednesday go visit Pugsley because Pugsley's feeling down about Gomez being locked up, and they talk for a second, and you can see that like Pugsley really loves Wednesday, and Pugsley really needs Wednesday, and he appreciates the help that she gave like him, and will still continue to give him throughout his life. And we can see that Wednesday doesn't share her emotions, but we can see that Wednesday loves him too. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why she's watching his back, And so she basically lifts up his spirits. And then from there, Wednesday goes to look for her mother, because Pugsley tells Wednesday that, mom wanted to be alone, so she's somewhere where she can be alone. Wednesday's like, she's at the nightshade room. So Wednesday goes to the nightshade room. She finds Morticia, and then Morticia tells Wednesday that, like, you think you know what's going on and all that stuff like that about the past, about your dad murdering this and da-da-da, but you don't. You don't even know that Goody Adams was the one that killed Crackstone. So you're like, oh, like, and she started, and Goody Adams was the one that started the Nightshade Club. All right. So then from there, Wednesday talks to Morticia some more, and Morticia like, look, you're here for a reason. Why don't you really ask me what you want to ask me? And so we find out that Morticia is actually the one that killed Garrett. It wasn't Gomez. All right. So of course, because Gomez liked Morticia, and she wasn't on some evil stuff. She was just really trying to protect herself and Gomez. When Garrett died because Morticia stabbed him, what ended up happening was um, Gomez was like, get out of here. Like, I got this. You know what I'm saying? So he took the fall. You know what I'm saying? Um, so Wednesday finds out through the details that her mom gives about the situation that occurred with Garrett, that because when Morticia's like, I remember seeing him for the last time he looked at me. She's talking about Garrett, and she's like, he was foaming from the mouth, like literally, not even like figuratively, but literally he was foaming from the mouth. So this makes a light turn on in Wednesday's head, and she's like, look, like the foaming from the mouth, if he was really doing that, like that sounds like something, something, something. And so they end up investigating into the situation more, right? And then Wednesday and Morticia end up going to jail because while investigating, what they had to do was they had to dig up Garrett's body, and then they get caught by one of the police officers, and then they take Morticia and Wednesday in the jail. But it was important that they looked up the situation because they found out that like what she thought, like him going crazy type stuff, was for a certain reason. It wasn't like he did it out of his own will. Like there was something triggered him, right? So then, as they're in jail, um, Wednesday ends up having a vision, and we see that Garrett was made to go after the students of Nevermore. He was given this little nightshade like poison vial, wherein which he was supposed to put it in the juice for the dance that they had that year of 1990, and it was going to kill all the students there. So now we're finding out even more. So like we thought we knew the story, then we find out more. We thought we knew the story, then we find out more. We thought we knew the story, then we find out more, and now we know the story. So you know, Garrett was put up to no good by his own father, and so when he was fighting Gomez, the vial broke, and it made him go crazier than he should have went. You know what I'm saying? Um, so from there, Morticia and Wednesday go to visit the mayor, and they confront him because Morticia knows that the mayor at that time back in the day, he was actually sheriff, and there was word going on that Garrett's family like had the sheriff in their pocket, and so basically we can find out that this whole time the mayor knew what happened, and he covered up certain things so that way that the town that the town of Jericho or even Nevermore school wouldn't get tainted by this death. So he covered it up. And so because they found out about the situation, he's like, look, what do I need to do for you guys to leave the situation alone? So they both tell him that, look, like we want our Gomez to be free, and also we want an apology from the sheriff to Gomez about accusing him for the situation. He's like, done deal. So Wednesday and Morticia, um, they end up talking after Gomez is released, and the sheriff apologizes to Gomez, and the sheriff and Gomez kind of have a talk, and it was pretty cool to see them talk for a second and iron things out. And then we see Wednesday and Morticia talking, and we end up finding out that when Morticia was having her visions, because she's so like lighthearted about stuff, she's considered to be a dove. So her visions were positive. But Wednesday sees the world for the way that it is in a dark manner. And so she's not a dove, she's a raven. And so her visions are more precise, more crazier, but they're more in depth. You know what I'm saying? So it's more dangerous to have the type of visions that Wednesday has. And Morticia's like, look, unfortunately, I can't train you on this because I don't even know how to train you on this stuff because you're different than me. But we can get trained from our ancestors. And so Wednesday's like, oh, well, I can ask Goody for help. And then Morticia's like, look, like, I know you think that Goody, you know what I'm saying, is all good and everything like that. But she lost the sauce. You know what I'm saying? She got lost in the sauce when she was trying to get revenge for her family getting killed by Crackstone, and she lost her mind to vengeance, and she kind of fell to the dark side type stuff. So yes, she's strong. Yes, she da 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 da, but she faltered a lot. So you be careful because if you don't get your powers under control, you can end up losing your mind for one, and then also be careful trying to go to Goody for help because she lost her mind with vengeance. So, um, then we see Enid stands up to her parents, telling them, hey, look, I'm going to live the life that I'm going to live. No, I didn't wolf out yet, which means turn into a full wolf. But regardless, I'm living the life that I'm going to live. I'm me. This is it. Back up off. So she stands up to her parents. She finally stands up to her parents. We see Bianca agrees to go back with her mother after the school year is over. So we'll have to figure out what happens with that situation later on. Um, Wednesday says goodbye to Gomez and Morticia and Pugsley and everything like that. And before Morticia leaves, she gives Wednesday her old school book, and we find that Wednesday's looking through it after they leave, and she finds out that Miss Weems is a shapeshifter. So she goes to confront Miss Weems about the death of Rowan, saying that Miss Weems was the one that turned into Rowan, trying to, portray that he never really died, even though he did. And then Wednesday's like, look, like you're a scum, bro. Like you're lying about this situation. You're no different than the mayor. You're trying to cover up stuff to cover up your butt and then cover up this town and save this town and everything like that. But the truth needs to be, known. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then we hear some students like making some noise outside. And so Wednesday and Miss Weems go to the window and they open it up. And then we see that in the grass, it's this grass area and it's a note burnt in fire and it's lit still. And it says, fire will rain. So I don't know what that means just yet, but that was basically the episode. Three of my favorite scenes would be Morticia and Wednesday when they're talking in the nightshade room, and I thought the acting right there was great. And I gotta say, like I like I think is it Catherine Zeta-Jones, whatever her name is, something like that. Yo, she did her scene. She did that scene well, bro. Like she was like you can see the emotion in her eyes, bro. Like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I like when those two talked it out and we found out some of the truth about the situation that happened between her, Gomez, and Garrett. And then also my second favorite scene would be Morticia and Wednesday confronting the mayor. Like both, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, man. It's cool, man, because it's like, as much as Wednesday is like her mom, she's also a little different. And so it just I just like the vibe. I like the mom and daughter vibe that I got from there. That was dope, man. That was dope. And I just like how they just both got that fool, you know, and made him, you know, basically uh have to come to their needs. You know what I'm saying? Um, My third favorite scene would be Wednesday confronts Miss Weems at the end. You know what I'm saying? They both went back at it. Miss Weems is tall as heck, bro. Wednesday is like, yeah, I'm not scared of you, bro. Like, look, like, you are on the wrong side, bro. You doing stuff dirty. Like, I don't even mess with that like that. Miss Weems like, I don't care. I'll do what I want for this. Yeah. It's just like, bro, I just thought that was a dope scene. You know? I just thought it was a dope scene. This episode, man, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I got to say, episode 4 and 5 have been my favorite episodes. And I'm really digging this series, man. All this stuff that they're throwing our way, these mysteries, man. It's crazy, man. I can't wait to get to have some more knowledge on what's really going on. And then also, I can't wait for another season, man. There's got to be another season after this. There's got to be, bro. And they can do that. They can do this for a while. You know what I'm saying? They did it right. They did it right, man. But 10 out of 10 for me. Told you my 3 favorite scenes. Told you the premise of the episode. So yeah, that's about it, man. If you guys saw this episode, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. What's been your favorite episode thus far? Do you like this series? If you do like this series, would you like to see it season 2, or do you think that it should just all be over after this season? Let me know about that in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I'm Cali. Till next time.